viewers. I'm Christopher from Shalom Premier School of Music, and this is our lesson 1 on the acoustic guitar. So many of you have been asking where to begin, and so that they can be able to play the guitar. I want you to walk with me from this lesson 1 up to lesson 12, and by the time we get to lesson 12, you will have learned a lot about the guitar. I want to begin with a very basic information about the guitar, and as a matter of fact, I'm not going to teach you the different parts of a guitar. I want to give you that as an assignment. I am going to name just a few parts so that you do research on your own, go to the internet, look at different parts of a guitar. I want to just give you some few parts. These ones, those are the strings. If you look at this part, we call this one from here to here, we call it the fretboard. This one, the fretboard or the fingerboard. The fretboard or the fingerboard. So what I'm holding now, that span from here to here, that's what we call the fretboard. The frets are these small spaces. We call this one a fret wire. Two fret wires, that space between two fret wires is what we call a fret. Because this is a fret wire and this is a fret wire, this is a fret. Now if you look at inside the fret, there is a white dot. That white dot is what we call a fret marker. A fret marker. So all these are frets. You can count in your guitar how many they are. This one, we call it the headstock. This one, the headstock with some tuning pegs. This one is what we call the body of a guitar. This one, we call it the sound hole. You can see some hole here. We call it the sound hole. We call this one the bridge. This one is the bridge, and this one is the these white things here are the bridge pins, and we call this one the bridge saddle. Where the bridge is lying is called the bridge saddle. This one, there is a small part here which allows you to move all the way to the farthest frets. This part, we call it the cut away. Cut as in cut away. We call it the cut away, this part. It allows you to move to the last fret here when you are playing the guitar. There are so many other parts of the guitar that I want you now to go into the internet and look at them and try to master them. I want to go direct to playing the guitar. The right hand is for plucking the strings, and the left hand is for pressing the strings along the fretboard, pressing the notes. So I'm plucking this one and pressing this one. Plucking, pressing the notes. Now, we have some confusion when it comes to playing the guitar, and that is something I want to clarify. We have different types of chords when we are playing the guitar. We have what we call the bar chords, we have what we call the open string chords, and we have the African chords. The chords mostly played by Africans in their music. There are others we call the bar chords, and others we call the open string those are just the same thing. They are just given different formations in the fingers, but we are just playing the same thing. In our lessons, from lesson 1 to lesson 6, we are going to concentrate on what we call the open string chords. And then after that, I will show you the relationship between the bar chords and the open string chords and the African chords, because it's just the same thing. It is just the same thing. So, note that when the guitar is played, either a player is playing African chords, or is playing open string chords, or is playing the bar chords. And I've said that is the same thing as I will show you in the relationship between those chords. Now, I want us to look at the last thing for today, which will form the basis of our second lesson. Basic things you have to understand so that we can work together. One is the fingers. Now, for the sake of learning, this one will be finger number 1. This will be finger number 2. This will be finger number 3. And this will be finger number 4. So when I tell you to use finger number 1 on a certain fret, because I have showed you what a fret is, when I tell you to place finger number 1 somewhere, this is a finger number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4. We name the fingers like that in playing the guitar for easy understanding when it comes to formation of chords. This finger, we are not going to use it for now. And we are also not going to name the fingers in the right hand, because their role is different from this one. But I want you to concentrate on the left hand, which is going to be used to press the notes. That's one. Number 2, we go to the strings. For the sake of understanding, the string down and the smallest in size, I want to call it string number 1. So we name them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from down upwards, the numbers I've given are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And those are not my numbers. Actually, those are conventional numbers of guitar strings. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Note that. The last thing is the frets. For our learning, for the sake of our learning, and still for the conventional purposes, this is fret number 1. The fret to the extreme left is fret number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we name the frets from, this one is fret number 1, fret number 2, fret number 3. So when I tell you to go to fret number 1, it is not this one, it is this one. So 3 things: 1, fingers; 2, numbers of the strings; 3, numbers of the frets. That is what we are going to use in the next lesson to start forming the chords. And this time we are going to start with open string chords. Thank you very much. See you in lesson